Welcome to the Soul-Led Starseed podcast. My name is Yolandi Bosov. I'm a starseed and a light worker, and in this show, I channel meditations and musings from the stars and from Mother Gaia. I focus on sharing activations and light codes for our collective awakening. Welcome, beautiful divine soul, and I am today going to have a little bit of a chat about, as a star seed, why are you here? And I think this is one of those questions that we get asked so often. People speak to me about it so often, and I thought, let me just start at the beginning and tell you a little bit about my story and also about the insights that I've gathered over the many years of doing this work as a starseed myself. So for me, it all started when I had my Akashic records read, and the lady during the session said to me that I was connected with the realm of Andromeda. And obviously back then I had never even contemplated, imagined that we might be connected to the stars. There might be some connection with some of the people walking on this earth. And it took me quite a while to wrap my head around it. But the most profound thing was the minute that she spoke those words to me was the minute I broke down. Like I started bawling my eyes out. I was crying like crazy. And I was just like, whoa. And it was like one of those things. It was like a deep remembering, a deep knowing that came through, and it just felt right. Now, that was right in the beginning of my crazy spiritual journey. And I had to do a lot of work around like understanding, like, why was I here? And one of the things that, was great in the beginning was the ability to be able to connect to the stars, the ability to be out there in the ethers, like working with the energies of the stars and working with all of those like high vibrational energies, and it felt really good. But what I completely neglected was the fact that I was actually on Earth. Okay, so I saw myself as this being who was kind of here very reluctantly, but doing good stuff and, helping people and showing them things and all of that through my Akashic record readings and through my channelings and stuff like that. But I was completely disconnected from the earth. And as I was progressing through this, I started recognizing within myself how I was almost bypassing my experience of Earth, because it was way nicer to be up in 5D, 6D, wherever I was floating around doing my thing, than to actually be in the reality of a third dimensional world with all of the shit that comes with this place, the responsibilities, the negative energies, and all of that. But what I also neglected to see was the other side of the coin, which was all of the amazing things that came with being on the earth. And so when I went on a retreat to Peru, I had this magical experience, a completely by accident, unplanned experience with a shaman in a place called Sacsayhuaman in Cusco. And he took me to the most amazing sacred spot and asked me to just put my hands onto the rocks. And it was interesting, and I was like, okay, let me do this. And then as I eventually he made me stand against this huge carved rock, and as I stood there and I closed my eyes and I started breathing, I could feel my hands starting to lift. And it was such a weird experience because I could feel the earth breathing, and it was almost like my body was starting to go up and down with the breath of the earth. And I hadn't taken anything, and I wasn't high or anything like that. And I was just like, what is happening? It's like I'm feeling Mother Earth. And so in that moment, I had this huge aha, like kick in the face that she's alive. And I had literally never ever thought about the fact that Mother Gaia is alive. I mean, we know it, but have you felt it? And that freaked me out completely, because I was like, shit, this planet is alive and I'm standing on her, and everything changed. And I had really been in that space where I was like, why am I on this planet? I want to go back to the stars. I don't want to be here. But that moment that I realized that she was alive shifted so much for me. And from there, it's been a real journey into like understanding the energies of the earth, and how as star seeds, we almost have an agreement with her, for want of a better word. You as a soul, as a starseed soul, you make a choice to come and incarnate on this planet, okay? The majority of starseed souls makes a choice to come here, okay? There are exceptions, obviously, always exceptions, but in like 99% of the people that I work with, you make a choice to go and like move your energy onto this planet, to connect yourself with this planet, okay? So when I start thinking about that, or when I did start thinking about it, it was like, okay, so I physically said, I will come here and I will come and do whatever it is that I'm needing to do, whatever my purpose is. And I make a conscious choice to literally say, I will come and incarnate here and do stuff with this planet, okay? So it's not about like me being forced to be here. It's about me choosing to be here. And the minute that I realized that, I realized, okay, so as a responsible person, as a responsible spiritual person, I need to start thinking about this. I need to start thinking about the fact that I have chosen to come to this planet. And even though there's a lot of shit that goes down here, there are wars, there are famine, there's heaviness, there's all of this like intense stuff that's happening all around the world. What I also have to recognize is that there is a shit ton of magic still happening, okay? In between the density, in between the heaviness, in between everything that is going wrong, as I'm putting it in inverted commas here, because this is how we as humans perceive things, that there's also a lot of magic happening, okay? And when I start looking at the balance of being on this planet and being a star being, then, you know, how does that feel? So if I said to you right now, so if you identify with being a starseed and you identify with being on this earth, have you taken a moment to think that you chose to be here? Okay, have you taken a moment to think about the fact that there's a specific reason that you have come here, and it's different for every single person, and there's different connections, and there's different information and codes and all of that type of stuff that you carry as an individual, but your choice is to be here. Okay, your choice is to be here, and your choice is that you have made an agreement with this earth that you will, in some way, shape, or form, basically help her, and she will help you. Okay, so it's a mutual agreement. So there's a two-way street here, and the two of you at some stage had some kind of connection and said, cool, we're doing this together. Okay, so if you think about that, that's pretty much a start of a purpose, right? So for me, it felt like, okay, I'm not just here blindly, like trying to shine light for no particular reason, because at the end of the day, so much of what we're doing comes back to Mother Earth. Okay, even if you are here awakening people to the stars, if you are here awakening people to what's happening and the cosmic start of all of it, at the end of the day, the reason they are here is connected to Earth. Okay, so if I then take that and I know that I'm here and I know that there's stuff that I need to do, there's also a lot of, for me, there was a lot of heaviness there. There was a lot of like, okay, I don't, I feel like I just keep coming back, and I feel like why do I keep on reincarnating on this planet. Like, what the hell could I be doing? Like, am I doing something wrong? Why do I keep on coming back? But it was quite profound for me. And if you listen to the Star Child meditation, that is on my podcast feed, the show before this one, when we were journeying there, the guide showed me like all the doors, and all of the doors in our lifetime. Okay, so if you can imagine, you're standing here right now, and there's a big long line behind you. Okay, and on that big long line, that is the line, that little path is the path of what you have walked on this planet. That is literally the path of all of the lifetimes that you have had on this planet, and all of the things that you've done. And off that path, there's a door for every single life. Now, some of us will have more lives than others. Some of us might even be here for the first time, or maybe the second time. So it just depends on what you are here to do. But if you can imagine having all of these doors, and every single time that you went through one of those doors and you had a look at what you did, how you showed up, some of those times are going to be quite mundane. Some of those times are going to be really exciting. Some of those times are going to be so traumatic. Okay? But every single door holds a little piece of your journey on this planet. And every single door is in some way, shape, or form connected to what the earth needs from you and from me and from all of us. Okay, so even if you look at the most boring lifetime, why were you there? Maybe you were meant to, have this child who ended up doing something. Maybe you were meant to be part of a story that played out for someone else, etc. And it wasn't your time to really get into this, and that is okay. Or maybe it was a lifetime where you made huge differences and you helped a lot of people, or you worked deeply with the animals or with earth, etc. And maybe it was a lifetime where you needed to learn to stand up for what you believed in, and maybe there was a persecution, or maybe there was times where you were being stopped. Okay, so all of these things, like, all of it matters, and none of it is irrelevant. But the thing is that every single one of those doorways have got some kind of connection that has uplifted the earth in some way. Your presence here is actually really, really relevant and matters a lot. Okay, and I literally have been had the biggest heart opening moment when I first saw that, where I was in awe of the amount of love that I felt from the earth for my presence here. And then I was like, well, if I feel this much love because she's recognizing that I am working for her and with her, then she surely must be feeling this way about every single other soul on this planet who has chosen to show up. And even the souls that aren't Starseed souls, they are also here because they like being here with her. So they're the ones we call the Earth Seeds, right? And they have a deep connection with her, and they also are connected and helping and doing something. So all of the souls on this planet is in some way, shape, or form connected to the heart of Gaia. They're connected to the consciousness of this planet. And we all have an opportunity to shine our light. We all have an opportunity to help her. We all have an opportunity to basically give our best, give part of us back to this planet. So this is my feelings around this, and I would love for you today to take some time and start honoring yourself for the brave choice of being here in the first place, the brave choice of coming to this planet and choosing to come and make a difference here, of choosing to show up here, of choosing to connect, of choosing to be in certain family environments, certain social environments. Everything that your soul has chosen for you is in some way connected to the bigger purpose of your soul. And even though I know sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but there's so much to be learned from those hectic, intense moments here on this planet. And and I feel that we have to start objectively looking at our experience here, because there is always going to be heaviness. There's always going to be stuff that goes wrong that is 3D related. But one of the biggest things is about, like, how am I actually going to deal with this? How am I going to show up for this? How am I going to learn from this? How am I not going to harm because I am hurt, because my heart is broken, because I've been hurt by someone else? Okay. And at the end of the day, the overriding factor here is that from within this planet, there's more divine love than you can even imagine. And when you start remembering that, tuning into that divine love of her, which she expresses to us through all of the magical stuff that she pushes out. Okay, I'm talking about the trees and the plants and the water and the beaches and the mountains and all of that. That's all pure love. That's all pure creation. Okay, and when you can start tuning into that energy of her, when you can start tuning into that and bringing that energy into your own life, okay, it will make a huge difference. So please don't underestimate your connection with the earth. Please take time to understand why you are here. Please take time to sit and feel into being grounded and woven back into the earth. Okay, because you are connected to the stars, but you are more connected to being here. Okay, this is the place where you live right now. This is the place where your soul wants to express itself. It wants to do stuff. It wants to experience all kinds of magical things, and just allow that. Okay, so returning back to your heart, returning back to that space of feeling the earth again, can open up so many possibilities for you. And I promise you, my life has changed so much since that day that I chose to acknowledge the fact that the earth is alive. And I chose to acknowledge the fact that I am here to work with her. I'm here to work for her, with her, and never against her. Okay. So thank you for listening to my musings around this. And I do hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, like, hit me up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I'm always happy to chat around this. Okay, so have a beautiful week, and also do enjoy the beautiful song that I will be playing after this. It's from a gorgeous soul sister who created this for me. It's got some magical light language in it. And the band's called The Mystery's Gone, and she did all of the mixing and all of the magic. So enjoy the song, have a beautiful day, and I will be back soon.